reporters did not investigate. The reporters were just horrible. Everyone has sold their souls. The legacy news has sold its soul to Trump, which is absolutely insane. The Congress does not want to do its job. You know, we have 3 branches of government for a reason, and they are what? Equal. 3 branches of equal branches of government: executive, congressional, and judicial. They're equal. And our country is broken because the Congress is not doing their job, because they are yielding to the orange man. Anyway, I see Gwendolyn in the back room. And oh yeah, before I start, oh yes, I got in the mail yesterday. One of our community people, our wonderful Janet, she's probably not gonna be happy that I said this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to celebrate her. Janet sent me a small, a little, what they call so booklet of her photography. And for those that don't know, you know, Janet is a woman of age, but she is an amazing woman. When we do our meetup groups, she is out there walking the pavements. She's out there with her camera photographing the world. She is not afraid to take her camera where she needs to go, and she is photographing the city. She's photographing her environment. And she's always been reluctant in some ways. She's like, a little intimidated by certain things. And I would say to her, your work is beautiful. Your work is amazing. Keep stepping it up. Let it go. Be you. Take that camera. Everyone has to start somewhere. And just get out there and do it. Just do it. Well, she's always surprising me. She's always, well, not exactly surprising, because I expected of her. That's our challenge to one another. And we were on the phone last night for probably about 2 hours. But she sent me in the mail her first little booklet. She has never done a book before with her photos. And I've always said her photos are beautiful and worth publishing. And so she did. She created this little book. And it has, I tell you, my favorite page is this collection right here. What she does is matches these. Let me just see if I can get it in there. It's in there. She matches photos with each turn of the page. So it's left and right match, left and right, with some kind of fluid theme. And she did such a great job. That's one of my favorites. And then she did another favorite. Here's one of my other favorites. And it's about the rain in New York. And really cool stuff. And I mean, she really did an amazing job. And I was like, her photos could be at Photoville. Oh, there she is. Janet's in the building. Janet is in the building. She didn't know I was going to do this. I mean, I just have to celebrate her. Here's another. Look at this. Look at that. Great photography. And she lets nothing stop her. And maybe at some point she'll put it on sale, and she'll be able to get, you guys will get to purchase it or something. But it is absolutely beautiful. And I gave her my critiques, little critiques. but the work is so beautiful. And I was so proud of her. And so I just had to celebrate. I had to take a moment to celebrate her because one, she's part of this community. Two, I am a believer that we are stronger together and we celebrate one another. This is not just a Ron platform. This is our platform. I just happen to sit at the seat to mediate, right? And moderate, mediate and moderate. So I get to do that. But it is your community. And so let's celebrate one another. And if you guys have something you want to celebrate that you've done, let me know. Or slide it into my DM or send me a this came by mail and I was so excited. She says, Ron, I have to send you something. And when I pulled it out of the envelope, I was like, yes, yes. She's doing her thing. And she don't care. I am inspired by Janet. I am inspired by Janet. Every time I see her, every time, it gives me great zeal to know that you don't have to, and I say this in respect, not out of disrespect to Janet. Like I said, Janet is I say a woman of age, full of wisdom. She's done so much in life. And a lot of folks, when they get to a certain age in life, they just settle down and don't do anything. They just say, oh, my life is over. My life is over because I crossed this age number, And it's not true. It's not true. Your life is yours. And as God gives you the strength, go for it. Don't let nothing stop you. And Janet, she gives me such fire, traveling and doing her thing. But when she sent me that book last night, I was like, Janet. When she called, I said, Janet. I called her. I said, Janet. Now, when I call your name 3 times, that means I am impressed. That means I am like on fire for something you did. So if I say your name 3 times and I have to pause in between them, I'm in a moment. So anyway, okay, I'm not going to embarrass Janet any longer. Janet says, Ron's encouragement has been very much needed. We all need encouragement. I challenge you all to find people in your life to, 1, encourage, 2, that can encourage you, right? The teacher must be taught, and the teacher must teach. And they go hand in hand. You cannot fill a full glass. You got to empty the glass into something else, whether it be a person on the ground, in the river. You got to empty your full glass. All you wise people in the building, you got to empty your glass into other people. And then you'll have room to gain more wisdom and knowledge to continue the flow. Just saying. Anyway, here's the ladies. The ladies are in the building. Here they come. What's going on, Gwendolyn? What's going on, Alieze?
You know what? It's Wednesday, right?
I'm sorry. Are you climbing the hill of the hump day?
I'm in mad record mode, so my days are long right now.
Yes, they are.
The days are long, but that does not mean that I don't have time to get my news and check on all the foolishness, for like at least 5-10 minutes. And I'll say this again, because, everybody, as you were mentioning, is at a different place with their life. And everybody accepts stressors a little bit differently. I'm not easily moved. It's like, not easily moved whatsoever. I keep my eye on stuff, but then I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing whatever I'm doing. So I was thinking that this morning as I was writing, that, there has to come a time where there are tons of things that are going to happen. I mean, there's a whole book about it. Like you can see what's happening in the movie before it actually comes up, because it's like there's a book about it. But there has to be a place where we start talking about solutions and giving that more energy than putting energy into, as you say, Pinky and the Brain. Perfect comparison. I was like, I knew it from somewhere. Like, where did I know that from?
Pinky and the brain.
Yeah, Pinky and the Brain. But there's got to be a place where we really start thinking about the action steps. Because for me, I give myself 15 minutes to get like the bulk of my emotions. I mean, I will still sit in it, but I sit and I move. I can't stay there. It's like, okay, Gwendolyn, we have cried, we have hit some stuff. Now what? What are we going to do? Because we just can't sit here. Right. So,
amen to that. We gotta keep it moving. We cannot let the grass grow under our shoes, as they say.
I've never
what's
heard
going
that,
on?
Okay. Gwendolyn and I are definitely at the same point, right? It's like, I've been using this term for the last few months about being at an inflection point.
Yes.
We can wallow and be distracted by all of these things, or we can start strategizing on what we're gonna do. Like that's what we have to start thinking about. What are we gonna do? And have it be effective. I even said this to my husband this morning. I was like, you know what? Oh no, I was talking to Adrian, I think. We can't keep just talking about what they're doing, right? We gotta start talking about what are we gonna do. And it just makes me think about the video I posted early. I put in my stories earlier this week about Medgar Evers' brother down in Mississippi and what they did and how it didn't last a couple of months. They didn't buy from any white businesses in that town for years. Some of them drove as far away as 75 miles to get some things, right? Because they were determined that that's not what it's going to do. Those people actually sued them. Them and the NAACP got a $2 million decision or whatever. It went to the Supreme Court. That was all tossed out. But however, the action was consistent and unified.
Yes.
And we can't, and I was telling my husband, and my husband, he looks at me like, girl, can you just leave me out of this?
Sound like my husband.
As long as we can't hold firm and not go to the Walmarts or the Target. Oh, it's cheaper over there. Like, okay, so we're gonna have to figure this out, because either we're gonna do it or we're not gonna do it.
Yep.
And the only thing that they feel as we can see by Target, the only thing they can feel is how things affect them monetarily. That's the one place we spend over somewhere between 1.7 trillion and 1.8 trillion dollars a year as a Black community. That's just Black people. And most of that
we're only 14% of the population.
Right. And it's not coming near us. And that's why so many things are focused on us and getting us to buy things, getting us to do things. That's why it focuses on us. And so we have to use our power, and we have to figure out how to unify that power. I was listening to Kenny Burns' recap last night. I didn't get a chance to speak to there, but one of the people like, oh yeah, I don't have a Costco the card. I don't have this. And I go to Sam's, and Costco's would be a 45-minute ride. Well, how long is a 75-mile ride to get something? To
back in the day,
45 minutes is nothing.
In the day,
it
unity, was a slow go.
Yeah.
So you shopping at Sam's the same thing as shopping at Walmart's, because the Waltons family owns all that, right? So that's why we're not successful, because we can't be unified, because what we don't want to do, we have to be willing to be committed enough to sacrifice some comfort and convenience. And to understand that it's going to be uncomfortable, and sometimes it's going to be inconvenient.
Yes.
And so we have to plan and move that way. And as I posted, I responded to one of the posts, and I said, now it's like, what are we going to do? Like, we have talked and talked. I've been talking for 5 years to people about all of this stuff, warning them about what's coming. I told somebody, I said, I'm going to find my Parable of the Talent book, and I'm just going to start reading passages out of there and posting online. I said, we're at this point right now. Now, this is where we are in the point of this war on society.
Yes.
Now, the next step that we're going to be at is here, but only through resistance. do we get there. And that's why I say, you know, my strong belief, and I strongly support artists and people who are a part of the resistance and activism. And artists, like, you know, you see my piece behind me, that's about activism. The young man who has this Black 5/5, that's activism. They're using their art form, their creativity to be activists and to get people to promote that.
Yes.
And Gwendolyn has that t-shirt, 100% Black. That's activism.
Yes.
That's us being activists, but can't let it just be in words. Yeah, I see that. We can't let it just be in words, right?
With some action.
Talking and not letting people letting them feel something from us. We have got to start acting. And my husband used the argument that a lot of people use. Well, you know, Black people work here. Black people. I said, you know, Black people worked in the kitchens of those restaurants where you can eat. Worked in the kitchens. Why do you think those people came back for that good food? Because Black folks were back there cooking. And he was like, well, you know, the Montgomery bus boycott, there was white drivers. I said, excuse me, sir. My husband was a history major. He ain't learning Black history, by the way. He learned Black history. So, by the way, for you do not know, if you Google it, there were Black drivers.
Yes, and it was 381 days.
Who drove the buses in Montgomery. There were some Black drivers, especially in going through the Black communities. So don't get it twisted. Don't think it was only white people driving those buses. There were Black people driving those buses who were committed to the 380 plus day boycott, and they knew that, and they were willing to sacrifice.
Yes.
And we got to stop using the excuse of who's here and who's there. I get it. You can't find a place where we're not. But does that mean that we cannot decide what unified actions we're going to take? And if we decide that we want to go out and do something as a unit and physical protest, then we need to know what that is.
Yep.
And we need to make sure of what we're protesting for. And I hear a lot of stuff. I hear people asking questions about or saying, oh, you know, you send these farmers. I don't care what you have to say now. You voted for this, and you can't undo that. I told y'all before the election, there's no redo. You can't. There's no tap you and take it back. You can't take it back.
That's right.
There's no redo. Y'all suffering. You were sitting up there when they said we're gonna get rid of USAIDs, and you forgot. Oh my God, my farm sells stuff today. Then you got the Venezuelan people, and they want you to feel so much compassion. I feel empathy for folks, but I also have to hold them accountable for their decisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have to be held accountable for their decisions, and they got to stop calling us. I'm tired of people calling on the people in these communities saying, where are the Black people? We voted. 90% of us voted. When you put the two totals together, we get 90% on average of Black people voted not to have this. Y'all chose.
If I may interject, and I want Gwendolyn to say her quote about pain, because that is what that pain quote is. It that until again I say this, and this is not a black and white,
it's not
moment. It's an American. I say this, I will say it again. It's not black. It's not white. It's not Democrats. It's not Republicans. It's because Republicans that are Republicans have left the Republican Party. They're not that. The real Republicans, like myself, that were Republicans, we have left the party, and most of the Republicans that were Republicans have said the party left us. Because we were truly the party of Lincoln, because Black people were Republicans before they were Democrats. So, but in this day and age,
Brian, I just want you to know the Republican Party that you joined was not Lincoln's party.
No, it
was not Lincoln's party.
It was my intent.
Be clear. Anybody that joined after the Nixons and people, that was not Lincoln. I need us to stop saying that.
Has some Lincoln stuff in there. Come on.
He said, "There's just some Lincoln."
You were never a Lincoln person. You are 60. You are not a Lincoln Republican. You was a Ronald Reagan Grand Wizard.
I was a Ronald Reagan Republican. Yes.
Sorry
and
about
then
that.
and then realized years later that I made some really bad decisions.
But you were young. You were.
I was young. I was 18
young.
years old, which is my point in saying it, is because so many people voted for Trump, young people, without without a lot of information. Now, some got information. Now we know there are people that were just acting out of their prejudice, their Christian nationalists, or whatever that case may be. But there were some people that truly, I'm sure, voted in ignorance. You know, and it was their job to obviously seek out information, you know, and seek the whole thing. I was also beguiled by, you know, I remember when I first became a Republican, is because in my neighborhood, and this is probably going to sound really bad, but this was the reason why I did it, is because my neighbors were on welfare. And they were abusive. They were having, the mother had a child, the grandmother was on welfare, the great grandmother was on welfare, and they kept spitting these babies out because they wanted to get money from the government. And we had literally in my neighborhood 2 big buildings, and that was the status of most of the people that lived in those buildings. So I reacted as a young person, like, and I remember going for a job when I was 16 years old, 17 years old, to, you know, work during the summertime, because we used to have school summer programs. And I was denied because my mother worked. And this sent me into a whirlwind. My mother worked, so I could not get work in the summer school program. Meanwhile, the kids and their parents that were taking over and just babies popping everywhere and committing crimes on the streets and just living any old kind of way. And not only myself, but we were all the good kids on the opposite side of what we call the neighborhood. And it was always the good kids against those bad kids, considered, you know, quote unquote.
Yes.
And they were committing crimes. They were beating people up. It was horrible. But they got the jobs because they were on welfare. And so I came from a point of, it was not fair for young kids like myself who wanted to do the right thing, go to school, get a job in the summertime. And because we were all kids of middle class or working class parents, we were penalized and we could not get summer jobs. And so that was the catalyst that took me down the road of Lincoln. But then my father, when I said I was a Republican, lost his mind.
Just like I did.
Just like you did. Yeah. What the hell?
I think here's what happened though, and you can see it now, Ron.
Yeah.
Is that you reacted to that you had no idea who first implemented it.
Exactly.
Because I had a person on my live one time, and I don't know if you were in that live, and she was like, oh, that H-1B visa, blah, blah. And I looked it up. I did not speak until I looked it up. It was brought in by George Bush, not the Democrats.
Yes.
So we have to take the opportunity.
We got to do our research
to find out who brought that in before we can make an uninformed decision to support someone that we think is going to do better, and who's telling you that painted the picture, the unreal picture that Black people were welfare queens.
Yeah.
And we weren't. We weren't the biggest recipients of that. And then we also have to, this came to my mind this morning because I was reading the thing about the SAVE Act. We won't talk about this right now, but anyway, it came to my mind this morning because a part of that is, your name has to agree with what's on your birth certificate. Well, I'm a married woman who took my husband's name, right? So back there, in order to receive the benefits, because every one of those kids you saw those women had, some of them had the same father. He just couldn't live in the house.
This is true.
To get benefits, right? Not all of them were bad.
They kicked their parents. They kicked the fathers out.
Yep.
Right.
So
Claudine, watch
the fathers could not live with the parents, and because we have public here in Clinton Hill, Fort
watch the
Greene.
movie Claudine. You'll learn.
Yeah, that was the movie. That was Claudine. I remember.
So you've set that up and doing a great migration. So you had all these people move up in, and what did they build to house them? They built these monstrosities of buildings out there, right? In Chicago, everybody had these huge buildings. Then they did not have always have the access to get employment. People have under the misguided impression that racism was only in the South. I hear you tell you it was northern too. It was everywhere.
It's everywhere in America.
It was everywhere. I just think we have to understand that the system paints a picture, and that's how systemic racism works.
Yeah.
And I always tell people to understand that systemic racism is not about the color of the person who's doing it. It can be us. We are guilty of it in education. We're guilty of it at every aspect, right? A part of that was that the way it persuaded you to vote a certain way.
True.
Because that systemic racism had, and then the things that happened in neighborhoods, and that happened to be where you were. But we don't take the time to actually research what we're reacting to. You couldn't get that job. You couldn't get that job not because of those people. You couldn't get because somebody put a policy in. You didn't know if it was a Republican or a Democrat in there, but because it was a Democrat in the office previous to Reagan, you made the assumption that it was Democratic.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's, it's happening.
But it's amazing because then over time you start learning about politics, and then you start diving in. That's why I took politics in school, like high school, and then I study in college and stuff. I always most people thought I was going to run for office in New York or somewhere because they always used to call me the diplomat. And I was always fascinated by politics. And then later on, I started to learn about what Reagan did to our community. And then I was like, holy moly, I did not know. And so sometimes that's why sometimes I am sympathetic to young people that make decisions out of whatever small knowledge that they may have. Maybe it's reactionary, maybe they're responding to something that happened negative, or they just, and then again, some people just vote because they vote. That's how they feel. But there is a segment of the population that votes because of something reactionary that happened in their lives, and they did not get the truth. They did not get the truth explained, or neither did they seek it out. Because I was a kid. I was 18 years old, 17. I couldn't wait to become an 18-year-old, and I was like, I got to get my first thing I do is register to vote. Register for the come back then we had the selection services.
Oh yeah,
so we had to register for the draft and for selective services, and then we also got voting. Look at Gwendolyn's face. That face says so much.
Well, when you were saying how people choose to vote because they didn't seek out the information, or they're basing it on the way they feel. Some of this stuff, if you really think about it, I mean, the idea that there are still people who believe that a woman shouldn't lead. Like, it's 2025. Like, there have been a number of women who have led countries extremely well. As a matter of fact, who have led companies extremely well.
Germany, Israel. There's been lots of women leaders.
So it's like, at what point do you realize that you're just a dumbass? Like that's some dumb shit. It's just stupid. Or the fact that Black people aren't of quality and merit, and they can't do. It's like, you wouldn't have half the stuff you have if you didn't have Black folks. Definitely not seasoning.
Well, we talked about that yesterday. Yes.
I mean, so I'm like, some of this, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, there's a point where you have to be like honest with yourself about why you're doing what you're doing, because there's so much information out here that there's not a good reason, not a good valid reason to still be saying that XYZ is blah, blah, blah. You should know by now. At a certain point, you were just too grown to not know. You have all of these kids who have come into an age where they didn't have to worry about the encyclopedia, which was printed once. And you may have had like the version from 5 years ago, but it was still valid. You have a whole entire world at your fingertips. The entire world at your fingertips. It's a
everything.
want.
But wrong with that. kind of to deal with that question of how people make decisions, we also have to understand trauma. So people make trauma-informed decisions.
Yes.
So those things, that events that have been traumatic to you will trigger you.
Yes.
And so as a young person, that was a traumatic experience to you.
Oh yeah, it traumatized me.
You had done all of the right things, right? You had done all of the
I did the right things. I did the right stuff. I went to school. I was an A student. I did everything right. And I remember going in, filling that little form out, because you had to fill out this little form. It was like a little blue piece of paper, or yellow or something like that. Filled it out, and then you went and you sent it in downtown here in Brooklyn. And they were like, "I'm sorry, but your mom, she makes too much." I was like, "My mother makes nothing, Holly."
Yeah.
And I could not get the job. I could not get my working
Your
papers.
idea is to blame the person who's underneath you.
I was upset.
That program worked extremely well.
I was upset with the government that I thought was in charge.
You were upset with the government.
But it was, again, it was reactionary.
It's reactionary.
It was definitely reactionary.
And it's the same thing where you have these young people now who were like, I can't get into Harvard because these Black kids who clearly can't be.
That's a whole different story.
That's why I can't get in. It's this it's the exact same thing. It's like, well, I'm not going to blame the guy or the gal who has the legacy, or because their parents know somebody. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to blame them, because why would I ever blame them? It's got to be this guy.
That's the policy.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's the same, but it's the same thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Same thought process.
The same thought process is that I didn't get it because they got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't get it because the school has these policies. I didn't get it because the government has this policy. But it's also us understanding our traumas, right? Whatever traumas us triggers us when things happen. And that's one of the reasons, like as an educator, I had my teachers look at ACEs, which is adverse childhood experiences. Those things influence and trigger us as adults. And, and they had this, a while ago, it's like in 2020 or whatever it was like, young people in these elections are going to save us. And I was like, not these young people. I said that in 2020, these young people, and look at what happened with these young people now. These ones, the information, the misinformation that they're getting,
yes,
is destroying this. And they're extremely young.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to hear something which is interesting, because as I've grown older and I hope a little wiser, this is why I can explain the mindset of Republicans, because most Republicans, in some way operate in that mindset, like, and you see it all the time. Why should she get what she gets and I can't get it? You see it all the time in the Republican mindset today. MAGA. So I always tell people, when I'm talking about Republicans, I can talk about Republicans because I know the mindset of why a lot of Republicans back in the 80s and the 90s chose to be Republicans. Is almost, I'm just saying from my own experience, my experience with other Republicans, is that it's always that mindset of, again, the get your bootstraps tied up and do your thing and take care of yourself, every man for themselves. That was the thought. That was the mindset of the Republican. It still is a very strong foundational thought process of, when you talk to a lot of Republicans today, I should say now MAGA, because the MAGA folks, it is their jealousy on some level of what others are getting that they feel is interrupting them getting what they think that they deserve.
That's a scarcity mindset. So like if you took away just all of the political titles, there are some who have a growth mindset that says, hey, my candle can shine bright and so can yours. We could all win. I lose nothing. I bring people onto my podcast, onto my shows all the time who may be doing some really big things compared to what I'm doing. Never in fear, never feel like I'm going to lose out. That's never there, because I don't have a scarcity mindset that I have to keep somebody down in order to rise, or that it's a zero-sum game. That is not where we reside. You
don't reside there, but there
are a number
the
of
MAGA people
reside there.
Yeah, but the MAGA movement, a lot of the coreness of their belief system is about that. Is I don't want those people getting what I should be getting. And so to understand MAGA, you have to kind of like understand the mindset of the people that are in it or that have evolved.
Do you really have to understand that? I mean, like if we were just kids, like just really like itty bitty kids, if you could talk to a kid and say, hey, you have one cookie, right? Do you give this cookie to your best friend? Do you cut the cookie in half and everybody gets the cookie? Like, what do? Most kids, because they haven't learned hate and all this ridiculousness, would just cut it in half or give the whole cookie to their best friend. Right? So there comes a point in our life where we make a decision. Say again.
I said in most cases, because I had a friend he was a kid. He did not operate that way. He was a kid.
And he was again one. There's
that kid that says every time we would get food, this is the thing. Every time food would be distributed, and I do believe he's a Republican also. Not saying that all Republicans think this way. However, as a kid, he would look at everybody's scoops. So let's say we were all getting ice cream. My godmother will distribute ice cream to everybody. He will look at the scoops and say, why did he get more scoops? It was like it was something embedded in him from when we were kids. And he saw the world as that person's getting more than me. You've seen kids like that. Why does she have that? Why does she got more, marbles than I have?
I didn't have that luxury because it was 4 of us in our house. And look, I'm saying, we had food insecurity. So it was Pops was literally making, loaves and fishes and making a whole meal. Like it was amazing how he did it. So I ain't never had that feeling. No. Don't know.
But that's also, Ron, you have to also remember that that's the conditioning, right? That's the
conditioning.
That started in the 1600s down in these enslavement times.
Well, that's why I will throw in there. That's why. I'm sorry, Alieze, but I will just throw in. That's why when Gwendolyn says it's a mindset of scarcity,
right? It is.
That's a mindset of scarcity.
But you don't have to stay there.
It's like I want to hold on to I want to get something. I think I want to lose something.
But you don't have to.
It is a certain mindset.
But it's a choice. There is always a choice where you can say, I am going to operate out of fear. Because that's just fear. Fear of missing out. Fear not being included. Fear not having enough. Fear of someone getting ahead of me. Fear. That's fear. Oh, I fallen and can't get up. Operating in fear is how the American society has moved for a number of years, and it's worked extremely well. We don't have to stay there. You have a choice.
True.
We all have choices.
And I think we here have made the choice to go forward and that we are not operating in scarcity.
But there's a point where you have to say, hey, this is not sustainable. You cannot take everything in the world and consume it and think it's still going to be here. Every time you look around, they're chopping down trees to build another building. That's not sustainable. That level of greed is not sustainable. You wonder why the coyote has come in here and snatched up your dog because you're in their house. You have to share this land. This is not sustainable. None of this is going to last if you keep operating that way.
Yeah, you absolutely true. I'm gonna say this last comment, and then I got to go and make a phone call. But anyway,
don't you dare leave us, Alieze.
Look, I have a phone call. But here's the thing: is like understanding. That's why it's so important that we also understand the caste system in America and
the caste system is
how it influences how we treat each other. The idea that I'm middle class, they're lower class, and they can get a job that I can't get. That's the caste system at work within a group of people. So it's not just outside of us; it's within a group of people that it works as well. And the other thing I want to say is on the politics side, we have, like you said, there were traditional Republicans and there are traditional conservatives. We have got to stop calling these extremists conservative. They're extremists.
They're extremists.
They're not conservatives. Exactly. That's extreme. We all have some conservative things that we're conservative about, but these are extremists. They're not conservative. So with that, I'm going to sign off.
Bye, doll.
Bye, my friend. About the SAVE Act.
Yes. You have to definitely have to and print it out. Print it out. So I had to print it out so I could read it. So what it means, so we're definitely on that side. And make sure, and anyone who does not have one yet, make sure that you have your real ID by
Get
May.
it done.
Yes.
Make sure
I
you
was
have
gonna
your
get
real
mine
ID.
done tomorrow. I need to get mine done. Yep.
Well,
What day
you're
today
lucky you
is
can
hump
go get
day.
yours done tomorrow. Like we have to make an appointment here in Texas, and they're talking 3 to 6 months out.
Really?
Ridiculous. Oh, I
We can
kid you
just
not.
we can just go down to the
No.
DMV.
No.
Here
So
in New
you want to talk about the SAVE Act, and Mr. Lee's made a really good synopsis of it, where there
I
is
thought we
this
were going to
one.
talk about that on tomorrow, Thursday.
You want to do it tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do that tomorrow. I wanted to. Here's a thought here. Unless you did, and did you do your homework on it?
First of
course
all,
you did.
what we're not going to do, Mr. Ron Foster, is ever question whether or not Gwendolyn is coming to the table without some information. I can't believe
I know.
you
That's what I'm
asked me
saying. Because maybe
In
you
front
already
of
have all the
company.
information.
that. In front
Maybe I
of
should
company,
be.
you didn't ask me that.
Maybe. Well,
Like,
I'm saying
I'm just
maybe
like,
you.
okay, because I could have sworn I told you. Now I know the kids are watching. It's okay though. I could have sworn I told you. I get up in the morning. I get my 15 minutes of news, and then I go about my business.
My thing is, I would, you know me, I have no problem with letting you take the lead. If you want to take the lead, take the lead. If you have the, because you did the homework.
Let's do it tomorrow, though.
You want to do it tomorrow?
Can we talk about, first of all,
what?
Let's go back.
For those that don't know, this is how Gwendolyn and I are. We are truly work husband and wife.
And this is PG-13 because I know we got people watching, and look, Gwendolyn is a sailor. Now I know people are like, I can't believe you talk like that, man.
Ooh.
This filter right now is filtering right now. You know what I'm saying? But I had a chance to watch T-Pain's reaction to Kendrick Lamar's performance. First of all, I love his joy. And second of all, hold up, because I just realized fooling around with you.
Dr. Tachi says, now you know good and damn well that
good and darn well.
G.R. Houston Jack did her homework, Ron.
Thank you, Dr. Tachi. I mean, hello, educator. Like, seriously, I can't believe you even like me like that in front of company. The audacity of it all.
I just wanted to, I just had to throw it out there. I was like, this is really
so watching T-Pain go over it. I absolutely loved how he was expressing his joy and seeing this young man do what he did. He's like, here, I thought I could never hold the stage at a Super Bowl because I'm a rapper. And how do you do that? He's like, he has 3 dance moves that he does. The choreography is like very simple, but yet and still the entire production was masterful. And he was like, is he gonna do it? He said, oh my God, he did it. I mean, it's, if you guys want to, I think it's called Nappy Boy Gaming is what he is under. And just watching him react to all of what he is seeing and picking up all the pieces, I thought, yes, it is so cool to watch other people enjoy.
It's so
just
good.
one of the coolest things. But I cannot look over how some people are working extra hard to say how, white folks at the stadium didn't get it, and there were people who were just bouncing around, and I don't know what he said, and it was so ghetto. That's exactly what Sam Mail said. That's what Uncle Sam said.
That's exactly he was narrating the people's reaction in the show.
Here for it. But honestly, if you really think about it, and I mean this seriously, people hate to see Black folks happy. Serena Williams, first of all, 43, looks amazing and can still do the crip walk. Now, I've never been able to get the whole little thing down like that. Man, okay, so I took, quick little side note, I took a West African dance class at Alvin Ailey.
Yes.
Gwendolyn, it has high expectations. When I go for aspirations, I go big. I was at Alvin Ailey, and I couldn't find my ancestors. It was me and the white man in the back of the classroom trying to figure it out. I was like, I just don't know why I'm not channeling my people. So I'm like, I don't, so for her to get up there and be able to do that. And then
she did it. She did. She worked it.
They stay coming for people who walk in their joy and who celebrate at any time. They come for that, because how dare you? How dare you be happy and joyful and look pretty damn good at 43?
Doing it. Lisa says she sent a video. She says she sent a video.
Who is that guy? Who's that guy? What's his name? He was in a couple of movies. He was like, Sam Jackson's out there monkeying around, and this is just ghetto. Get the kids out the street.
Who's on
the street?
Well, let me see if Lisa said that to me.
Caucasian audacity.
Let me
for
check
him to make that comment. Like, let's bring back jazz to the Super Bowl. Jazz, bruh.
Jazz has never been at the Super Bowl.
But I'm sorry, sir. Cut that out. Cut it out. What I do like, though, is how people like to bring up other music genres that at one point were shunned. And all of a sudden, that's respectful.
Oh, here it is. She just sent it here. Okay,
you want to show it?
Yeah, I'm going to show it. Hold on a second.
She said a nobody actor.
I think it's Robert Davey. The message wasn't for you. I think that is it. Lisa, I think that's the one you sent me.
Yeah.
Because, you guys send me so many videos. I'm like, yo, whoa, I can't get them all in. But here it is. I do believe it. Hold on a second. Let me know. Lisa, is this the one? Again, this is our community. So this is how we work. Okay, this is one. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
So let me get the. There we go.
These kids down.
And then I'm gonna reload it. So sorry about that. There we go.
Dear fellow Americans, just my quick little rant on this halftime nonsense. I mean, come on, stop with the ghetto crap. I'm done with the ghetto. I've had it up to here with ghetto. I know they want to say rap is this and rap is the streets and rap is the current and rap is the that. Look at jazz. The jump black and jazz blues artists. Give me the Count Basie band. Give me Duke Ellington's band. Give me the history. Give me jazz. You want to go black? Go art. Don't go ghetto. Let's lift the streets. Let's lift these kids off the streets. Enough with the garbage. Enough with the garbage. Enough with bringing these kids down into the garbage. Like that's the cool thing to do and this and that. No, those gentlemen that created an art form, a gorgeous art form, those jazz artists, let's propagate that in America. Enough with this bullshit. Who in the NFL hired this act? And Sam Jackson monkeying around. I mean, I'm sorry. It just repulsed me. It absolutely repulsed me. What was the point? What's the point? Let's lift the kids. Let's give them something to aspire to, talent to aspire to. Let's train them in instruments and jazz.
Okay, the ignorance. This is like top level ignorance. I see that our wonderful Lisa commented on the page. Says, I beg your pardon, sir. You might want to get an ancestry.com run on you because your features are saying something. And it's okay if you didn't like the show, but your racism is showing. I'm not sure if we can even cancel a 74-year-old. Back in the day actor, but I hope your words earn you a consequence. This was crazy.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go back to it again. There is this ridiculous idea that all Black kids are in the streets and that any type of music genre or expression of joy that you don't like now becomes ghetto. Take all them stadium seats. I almost said something. Take all them stadium seats. Like, really? Like, who are you? There is never a place for anybody to tell someone how they should express themselves. Kendrick Lamar is a Pulitzer Prize winner, right? Can we just recognize that? Right?
Five Grammys. 5 Grammys.
So we're not talking just like average Joe, right? There were people who were like, and no one in the stadium knew his songs. Y'all are so full of it. Y'all the same people who, when you get into your circle, will put on the latest line dance and rock out to Snoop Dogg and everybody else and act like you know something. So let's not pretend that y'all not out there playing his music. Stop it. Stop that fool madness. Ain't nobody hearing that. Like, don't do that today. We're not doing them lies today. We're not doing that. But I will say this, the message was clearly received. Because he said, we're going to show you guys exactly who America is.
Yeah.
Done. And get all these folks up in their feelings. Done. Because you know what? You still talking about them. You still talking about them.
But isn't it ironic that Samuel, when he played the character Uncle Sam, how he, said, this is what they're saying. This is what they want. This is, he said exactly what they're doing.
Be calm.
And it's so, it's
be mellow.
This halftime show, and again, I said they're going to be talking about this for a while.
Yes.
Because yesterday there was an avalanche of racism, MAGA folks out in the world doing their racist bidding and sharing all kinds of crap on the internet. But I want to share some
about his performance.
About his performance. About there were no white people in the performance. They're racist.
Right, there was none.
Where's affirmative action? So anyway, because of that, yesterday I said, let me bring you some of the folks, the white folks that were sharing about their counterparts. So that's the best way to say it. And it was really, I think, really well done. Some of these folks really went in and shared some good stuff. Here's one. We're gonna bring this up, and let me get this up here for you all. But yeah, I mean, it's trick. Some folks are triggered.
I would say there was some guy, some Ron something whatever. I can't think of his name, but he's a Black conservative. He was like, I was with my white friends and I didn't understand. I was so embarrassed. Why you embarrassed, bruh? Why you embarrassed? I'm embarrassed.
Really?
I'm embarrassed by you and your foolishness, your coonery. Like, really? Seriously? Bruh.
Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna let me just get this back to the. Hold on a second. Okay. So
some white folks watched and thought that was cool, but others dug deeper, listened to Black voices breaking down the symbolism, and realized just how layered the performance was. The American flag imagery, the way the dancers moved, and the subtle nods to Lamar's ongoing themes, it was all intentional. But some white folks weren't just confused, they were angry. Some were upset that there were no white performers, no white dancers, no obvious appeal to white audiences. People who usually claim they don't see color suddenly saw it everywhere. But why did it bother them? Because this performance wasn't centered on them. It wasn't for them, by them, and about them. It didn't ask their permission, seek their approval, or cater to their comfort. And that's unsettling when you're used to being in control. Seeing Samuel L. Jackson as a Black Uncle Sam, watching a show that didn't need whiteness at its center, that flipped the usual power dynamic. It puts whiteness in the position of the observed, and for some, that was too much. This is the same discomfort some people felt when a Black man walked into the White House. The same outrage that erupts whenever Black joy exists outside of white validation. Because Black joy, self-sustained, unbothered, and fully free, has always been seen as a challenge to white supremacy. But here's the thing, art doesn't have to center us for us to appreciate it. We don't have to fully understand something for it to be valuable. Curiosity and humility go a long way. Instead of reacting with fear or frustration, we can choose to learn. So today, I'm grateful for the voices that helped me see what I missed. And I'm thankful for the artists, the activists, the storytellers who challenged me to think. Kendrick Lamar didn't just perform.
To me, that was one of my favorites.
Choices.
Because here's a guy white guy. And it's not because again, we know lots of white people know Kendrick's music.
Yes, you know they
So
know it.
many. I mean, when they showed the bars in Philadelphia and all the people, it was people from every background singing the lyrics and
They know it.
and but again, here's an older gentleman that said he did not know it, but someone took the time to share it with him, and he was so thankful for the observation, thankful for what he learned. And I thought that was to me, that was one of my favorite videos of yesterday as I was scrolling through, because I thought it was really, there are some people that are willing to learn, but I think he broke it down so nicely because of not being white centered and all the other stuff that he said. What do you guys say in the community?
I've had people who have asked me about like certain conferences that are centered around Black people. And they're like, well, I'm white. Can I attend? Yes, you can attend. No one said you couldn't. But the whole idea again of it doesn't say so-and-so or I'm not the center of attention. That's just white privilege. Everything ain't about you. Everything is not about you.
But DEI.
Who's
they want DEI, reverse DEI, right?
Okay, so can we, maybe this will be for tomorrow, but wanting a diverse world, wanting a workplace, a business, or anything that looks like the world outside is not a bad thing. Wanting to include other people in your circle so you can grow your perspective is not a bad thing. Wanting people to have the opportunity to shine in their greatness is never a bad thing. So when people say, I don't want DEI or da-da-da, it's like you're assuming that someone who doesn't look like that guy is not of merit. Make that make sense. We start calling people on the BS because we're not doing that today or any other day for that matter.
I love it. I love it. I love what you guys are saying in here. Like Jesus says, Black people don't need white validation to be special. You said this is white privilege, point blank, period. That was the other gentleman. I say he's a gentleman, but the guy that was before this gentleman. Here's another one. There's another one that I really enjoyed. And as you see, this is another white gentleman that really took something away from this moment. I'm telling you, like I said yesterday, I do believe this whole Super Bowl moment is an opportunity for people to learn.
Yes, now, I just hate, and I don't want to use the word hate, but I am disappointed that the NFL.
You can say hate if you want, right?
No, I don't want, but it's not the correct word. Okay. I'm disappointed that the NFL felt as if they should give Lil Wayne and others an apology for snubbing them. Lil Wayne was not built for this kind of stage. He wasn't. He was not built for this kind of stage. I mean, like that's just not, that would not have been, in my opinion, a really great entertainment piece for that time. That was a no. But the need to apologize, to like coddle up to his feelings and stuff, man, I'm about to say F them feelings, but whatever.
Here we go. Let me see. Here we go. Let me share this one. This was really cool too. I love this one. Let me see. How can I get to the very beginning of it without getting kicked out of it? Okay, reload it. Okay.
As halftime show did not include any white dancers. They're calling it exclusionary and racist. But hold the fuck up. Aren't these the very same people claiming that DEI isn't fair? Who believe in meritocracy and that companies should just hire the best person for the job? And that diversity efforts are just forced inclusion? So white people, let us get this straight together. We are saying that when historically white spaces stay white, that's just the way things are. But when a Black artist celebrates Black dancers in a performance celebrating Black culture, suddenly we're upset by this? Kendrick's performance was not about exclusion. It was about authenticity. And Black artists do not exist to make you comfortable and to keep us in our fragile little bubbles. And maybe remember the quote that if art doesn't make you question something, then it's just an advertisement. I hope this helps. White people are upset.
And so I love that people, I like it that we have this dialogue. That's the beauty of the country, is that you have these white folks that are challenging their white counterparts. That is how it's supposed to work.
Well, that's how it's going to change. And thank you, Anthony. He got the right word for me. That's how you have the change, though, because it's not my job to go explain X, Y, Z to you. You can ask, but the only person to hold you accountable for your double standards is somebody who looks like you. Because I can say it, but it's not going to land correctly. You need somebody to call you on your BS, and that person has to look like you. That's how change happens.
Amen.
Amen.
There's one more I'm going to share because yesterday we did the Black, everyone responding from the Black perspective, but I definitely want to share some of these because again, I love that, and I am a believer of it because I know of the abolitionist movement when you had Frederick Douglass moving throughout the country. He didn't, yes, he visited Black places, but he went to the white folks. And he said, this cannot be accomplished without you. You, white people have to change white people. But that's what it comes down to it. White people have to be the voice for change for white people.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
you have to have the people in this country that are white and inclusive, love inclusion, love the advancements of growing and becoming one. They have to have a voice and they have to speak loud. They have to speak with a mic, a megaphone, and they have to make their presence known. Like I'm looking for because again, like Alieze says to many of us, and we see for many of us who went out and voted, Black folks said we have to sit this one out. We need white people that are about integration, advancement, equal opportunities, diversity, to take their stand since they believe in it, and in their words, talk to their counterparts that either woefully make the decision not to be inclusive or have a way of educating those folks that are struggling in that area. Gwendolyn, I know you got something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I was just thinking, it's not about if you want to be integrated. At the end of the day, I don't know who everybody believes it, but the good Lord made every single one of us. He didn't make any mistakes, right? So this brown skin is not a mistake, right? If you're Latino, Jewish, all the things, none of that is a mistake. We're supposed to be here. So I think about our current administration, the people who've been put in places in Congress. At some point, you have to say what's happening here is clearly not right. Where is your integrity? Where is your character? It is always the right time to do the right thing. This is now that time. So at what point do you say, as a citizen, I can't stand by and watch this place get burned down? Now, I'm going to let a bitch burn. Burn it. I'm going to hang you some matches. Burn all of it down because it's not registering for you. It's not registering. But if you're thinking, well, they just really can't go this far and they're still going because you have to now say something. There are so many people who will see something happening and stay silent. That silence is acceptance of what's happening. This is not my fight right now. This is not my fight. So I had that thought when you were going over, they have to speak up. Yes, they're going to have to speak up. They're going to have to say, we don't want the Department of Education to be removed because my kids need that funding. My kids attend a public school.
That's right.
That whole idea of school vouchers, which just gives rich people a discount on what they're already paying for. How does that help my kids?
Exactly.
But if you say nothing, because you are now, it's a bigger conversation. And I talked about this, that, white people do have a different program. You can only go so far out of the system before you are ostracized and you lose those privileges. Please don't make that mistake. There's a reason why people behave the way they do. It's not just the privilege it is. You will be ostracized by your family, kicked out on the street, cutthroat.
Yeah.
Different behavior. So now you ask yourself, what do I value more? Do I want my security in my current circles of influence, or do I want to be on the outside struggling, trying to figure it out? There's a reason why it is the way it is, and why so many people stay silent but say things in circles. Well, that circle don't work. You have to get on that front line, partner.
Amen to that. Okay, I'm going to show this one here. Thank you, Gwendolyn. I love when you express yourself. Here we go. I thought this was cool too. Here we go. Hit play.
Is a lyrical genius. And if you don't believe me, you're wrong. The A minor line in Not Like Us works in so many ways. Of course, there's a minor, obvious. But also, if you're a musician, you might know that A minor is the relative minor to C major. Now, C major and A minor are two of the most simplistic keys in music because they have no sharps and no flats. So if you're a beginning musician, you might learn to play things in C major or A minor because they're the easiest keys to play, easiest keys to compose music in. But also, check out A minor. All white keys. Kendrick Lamar is a lyrical genius.
And she was just talking about the genius of the music, but that was really cool. I was like, well, I never thought about it as a musician.
I missed that one completely.
That was like, okay, as a musician, I never thought about the keys or the sound. Well, and I think Lisa sent me. I'm going to make sure I use this more often. Thank you, Lisa. Oh yes, this one. Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
This one, yes. Hold on. Yes. Oh, hold on. Okay, here she is. They've turned her on. Thank you, Lisa.
Hated the Super Bowl halftime show. Now that I wake up this morning and go down the rabbit hole, and you're all explaining it to me. Holy. Like, we're talking, this message was like some Da Vinci Code shit, okay? I'm just not in the know. So this old lady was like, it's not like Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation. We were with like loud group of kids, so I couldn't really hear what he was saying. He said everything he needed to say with A minor. Did not know. The thought that had to go into this show. I'm seriously blown away. We're talking Nicolas Cage in National Treasure, okay? Trying to find the Constitution, because you know what? Kendrick Lamar is now my national treasure. Are you kidding? Brilliant. Oh my God, and Serena Williams, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? God bless the internet, because I feel like I'm finally a part of something. I loved the halftime show, and I need to be more in the know. I'm just going to say it. I hated the Super Bowl halftime show. Now that I wake up this morning and go down the rabbit hole, and you're all explaining it to me.
Oh, that was priceless. Oh my God.
She cracked me up. She did.
Now that's a good way to, as we close out this show, close out today's. Thank you, Lisa. That was priceless. I mean. But there was a lot of white women and men that were in her same position. I'm so glad for the national conversation.
Yes.
Because it's opening the eyes, it's educating people that don't know. And also revealing how, again, the country is polarized. And there are a bunch of folks in this country that are racist, that are bigots, and you can't save them. You can't help them. However, there's a whole nother bunch of folks out there that they're like, what is going on? I want a part of this too. I want to learn what's happening. I saw what was happening at the Super Bowl, and I missed it. I want to know. I want to learn. And
we're missing out.
And then all these people that are learning are like, holy moly. Now, for Black folks that know history, and we know our history, we know that Black people have always encoded a lot of stuff. I mean, when you're in South Africa, here's something that blows my mind. I'll never forget when I was in South Africa. and I was at my hotel desk, you know, checking in, and I kept hearing these clicks, like this clicking sound. And I was like, where is that coming from? And I saw the taxi guys, you know, taxi drivers hanging out in the front door. And then I saw them talking, but they were clicking in between their talk. That's how South Africans do. So they have these clicks that when they talk, they use these clicks. And so I was totally amazed by this clicking sound. So my friend who's South African, he goes to me, he tells me, he says, do you know the history of our clicks? I said, no. He says, the clicks, we used to use the clicks when there were invaders or people that we felt that were not safe. And we could talk to the invader, or the person that we thought was, you know, going to be dangerous. We could talk to one another, and the clicks was a code, and there's a whole language based in the click, based in the South African and some of these tribes' languages. So that way they can talk like they're talking English, but then they could talk English and use the clicks to tell of danger. And the Xhosa people. And the Xhosa people would say, they had the embedded clicks. I said, Africans are so freaking brilliant. There was another of those brilliant moments I had. And I was sitting there like, you got to be kidding me. And he says, yes. And he said, so I said, how do you learn the clicks? He said, it's not like learning your regular language. He said, it takes most kids, they're up to usually from birth to 9 years of age,
really,
to understand and get the clicks. I said, wow. But it was the clicks, the Xhosa used the clicks as a language embedded so that they can warn each other when there was someone that was going to bring danger to their tribe. Man, I was like, holy moly. But again, we look also into Africans that came, you know, that were brought here to America, enslaved. Yeah. But they would use for instance, women would have their cornrows. And the cornrows in their hair were maps.
Yep.
Maps. I mean, like, Black folks are, I know there's some brilliant white people out there, but I'm telling
why you gonna say it like that?
I just gotta say it because, you know, some white folks are like, white talk about Black. But I just want to bring out the point of that. Wow. I mean, when you think of the ingenuity and the embedded coding and conversation. So Kendrick Lamar, he took that, what Africans have been doing for centuries.
Yes.
And he took that and used this method in his rap, in his production. Every single thing had a meaning. Yes. Everything was intentional. Every color, the feather in the hat, every little thing. That's why this is such a great topic. So
it took a lot of planning. I mean,
it took a lot of
extremely intelligent and clever. You know, it really is. Whereas a lot of Americans, no race or ethnicity involved, just want to be entertained. And every now and then you have someone who says, hey, we're in a moment where we have to get beyond just basic entertainment and talk about what's really going on out here. And he brought it to the table. He's like, I'm going to say something really quick. Hold on. Hold my beer.
But Lisa said that, and this is a good. Thank you for the correction, Lisa. Because I was just mentioning the 5 Grammys that he won this weekend past. But he has a total of 22 Grammys.
You should probably do a show just on the language, because we do have a language. There is this language and this unspoken camaraderie when you see each other. where you don't have to say it, but you know exactly what's going down. And when people are like, so what's happening here? You're never gonna,
because Black people have this thing that we strive to connect. And as most people think that's not true, I mean, outside of the community, but in our community, we know we strive to communicate. Like, for instance, my first time in Iceland, not too many Black people in Iceland. So I'm walking down the street, going from one place to the other, and across the street was a Black dude. And you know what happened? We went like this. We were like, yo, what's up, bro? we didn't know each other from a hill of beans. But
you don't have to know each other, right?
We were the Black people in Iceland. He was a Black man on the other side of the street. I'm on this side of the street. We automatically click, hey, what's up? And and that's I don't know how many other people work in other cultures work that way, but it is one of my favorite things about Black culture is that when we are the onlys, or let's say it's not that many of us somewhere, we instantly bond and build bridges and connect.
Yeah.
It's like this hidden language of, okay, I see you. You see me, I see you too. Yes. And but that was and I've been in places like that, but Iceland is probably the most white place I've been. That when you saw a Black person, you were like, oh yeah, you got excited. You're like, wow. Now a lot of Black people go to Iceland, but when I first started going to Iceland, it was not as popular place. And but yeah, so I love us some. We
do have some things, like I said, at the photography conference. For those of us who were there, we would see each other. We were like, cousin. Now, we're not really cousins, but it's like cousin.
Yes.
It's just something that you know that you do. You're like, yeah, have a seat, come to the table. It was just, so I don't, it's unspoken, but you can feel it, and it just works. It just works.
If
same
anyone wants to,
all the things.
And I saw that some of you guys want to look up the Xhosa people. Xhosa is spelled Xhosa. And do you know who was also part of that? The woman that used to sing. And does anyone know that song I'm trying to sing?
I'm not getting anything you're putting down, sir. You have just lost all of your calls.
She was the famous South African woman singer in America. Her song went worldwide, and she had the click. Right. She had obviously I can't sing the song.
I think Dr. Tachi mentioned it.
Madiba, was it Madiba? No, I don't know. What was her name?
She just put it in the comments. She put it in the comments.
She did. Hold on a second. Let me see. Makiba, that's right. Right. Thank you,
You
Miriam
didn't do
Makiba.
it right, sir, because I didn't get none of that. I'm sorry. I'm like, we were on a game show. I was like, I quit.
What? Lisa was like, "What are you trying to say?"
I'm like, I'm like, what? And I'm pretty good with the music, but I was like, I have no idea where you're going.
If you are here, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes and subscribe. If this is your first time, patois. It's called patois. Patois.
Does that say patois?
Does that say patois?
I'm not reading patois on the screen.
No,
I'm sorry.
P-A-T-A. Isn't that? Okay, Lisa, give me my syllables.
P-A-T-O-I-S. Like I'm not reading patois there.
P-A-T-A is patois, isn't it?
No, but you could put it on the screen so maybe we could. Yeah. Oh my God! It is Wednesday.
We are having a good time today.
Oh, okay.
Lisa, you my translator? Where's Lisa?
Oh, she was giving you the name of the song.
For those that don't know, Lisa will have a habit of sending me. She gives me my hooked on phonics.
Yes.
She breaks down my syllables for me. The name of the song. Oh, thank you.
Pata?
Pata Pata?
That's what it looks like if we do phonetics.
Yes.
Spelling.
Okay. I'm gonna have it tomorrow. I'm gonna have it tomorrow. So I'm gonna look it up. But it's a great song. It went back in that time.
Okay.
What viral was? It was viral. It went everywhere. It was global. It's she's one of South Africa's treasures. Yes, she is. Oh, okay. So no,
Patois. That's what I said. Patois. I know how to spell patois. Like, girl, that
so you know how
ain't
to spell patois.
it. That ain't it. Partner.
Okay. Anyway, we'll move on. Kim says, "Oh, gee, oh gosh." I got clothes to wash. I need to go get my clothes finished.
Need this laughter.
This was good, laughter. Guys. I mean, this is why we have a community. I mean,
Ron is here to serve.
Yeah, we are. But wasn't this a great conversation today? I hope you guys had a great time. And that's how we gathered here. So let's see who's over in the Instagram world. So you guys in the Instagram world, if you are not in on our Touch Base Daily on YouTube, you need to get over here. And that way you get a better experience and you can connect with the community and we can put your information up. That is why we have a community and building community, because as we move through this new era,
yes,
we are going to need community more than ever. Mm-hmm. We got to go the ways of our ancestors. Our ancestors believed in community and they survived because of it. Yes. And we will do the same. Our ancestors are our inspiration. So let's build community, connect. And you have been working on your projects. When is your shows being released?
Well, the next season begins February 24th. I'm not mistaken. Correct me, Dr. Tachi, if you will. And then we are working on some other things, right? Like my writing and what have you. So we have quite a bit going. And I'm working on whenever I can't find a word.
Wait! I gotta tell you why you do that. Hold on. So for those, Gwendolyn, when Gwendolyn is in transitioning her thoughts, she likes to do a tap dance song.
Yeah. It's a good filler. I'm working on a speaking engagement for empowerment of women. So stay tuned for dates on that one.
Yes. So Gwendolyn has been working really hard for the last couple of days, getting her videos done. It is hard work to bring content, y'all. And we do this because we love it. We do this because we have community. We believe in it. And it takes a lot of work to bring content. So when anybody that you appreciate on YouTube or Instagram or any of these social medias that you really adore and what they do, and give them some kudos, give them some love. Also, I forgot. I mean, I always forget that because I'm not wired that way. But you know that we are now our Instagram page. If you look at the very bottom, if you decide you want to tip us for what we do here, you can just hit that little dollar thing on the bottom too. That is where you can, because some of you are not Patreon members, and the Patreon members support what we do here. But if you want to give a tip here and there once in a while, we have the ability. We got we moved up the ranks in YouTube that now we have that ability. So you can. There's a little dollar thing down there. You can just click on that if you want to, tip $1, $2, whatever. It just goes towards the media. It helps pay the bills. Guys, please check out the fabulous book review. Oh yes, Gwendolyn did a video for Lisa. Lisa says, guys, please check out the fabulous book review Gwendolyn did for my book. That's what it's about.
There's a sneak peek.
Yes.
So it's in the community or the post tab, and then it will go live tomorrow. But you can get a sneak peek today.
So get a sneak peek of that. Go to Gwendolyn's page, Miss G.R. Houston Jack. And such a great job. And again, that's what community does. Community looks out for the community. Everyone. Oh, I got a super sticker. My first super sticker came from Kim. Thank you, Kim. I got a super sticker, but she's the first person to use it. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for the tip.
Does that get you one egg? Is that one egg?
What?
Is that one egg?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know. It's called a super sticker.
Oh Lord, Ron, it went over your head, man. It went over your head. I went to get eggs this morning. They was $7.40. I said, not today, Satan. Not today.
Oh, you only gonna get 2 eggs for this one. For $1.99, you only get 2 eggs.
Is that one egg? I'm gonna send you a carton of eggs, Ron. That's how I'm gonna show my love for you.
You're gonna send me a carton of eggs. You're gonna send me $7 for a carton. Oh, Tachi. Whoa.
Look at you.
I think I can get those eggs.
Big timing. Oh, look at you, Ron. Big timing.
I'm using the levers. That is going to help towards our bills. Yes, it will. StreamYard costs $50 a month to be on here. So that's going straight to StreamYard.
That's awesome sauce.
Look at that. That was really cool. That was so cool. Said I try to do it, but can't remember my password.
Lord have mercy.
Lisa. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. It's only 9 or 10 of us in here right now. So guys, have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourselves. If you're obviously watching the video, make sure that you continue to like and share what we're doing. Oh, there's another one from Anthony. Woo! The StreamYard is going to get paid for this month. StreamYard is getting paid for. Yay, StreamYard. But isn't it a great ability? So people can, donate. I see it all the time on all the other channels. People share, they give a tip here because not everyone wants to join the Patreon page. And I get it. So this is another way of people supporting. So I'm glad that we were elevated because I got the email saying you've been elevated. I
see Omar in there too.
What's that?
I see Omar's in there too.
Yeah, Omar. Yeah, $4.99. Another super sticker. Look at these super stickers. There we go. Oh, because Dr. Tachi did the super chat. Hers was a super chat. See, I gotta bring these on the screen. This is how the other onliners do it. You gotta make sure you show people and what they done. You show appreciation. And so I am so thankful. Okay, guys. I think we're good. Yes. I think we're done.
Yes.
I hate leaving y'all, but I gotta go. I got a long days of work to do.
Yes.
I got a photo shoot tomorrow. One of my biggest photo shoot probably ever. 30 employees I'm photographing tomorrow.
Ooh.
Headshots for 30 employees. Woo! I'm taking my vitamins and everything today. I'm going to bed early. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me and this wonderful community. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're definitely going to be talking about a couple of such issues that are happening right now in government, obviously politics. Chris will be here. We have Alieze will be here. Gwendolyn will be here. And if you want to pop on, you're more than welcome. Just let me know. Just slide into the DMs, and I can also send you the link to come on as well. Okay? Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being a part of this community. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you again. Thank you for all the people that supported and sent those wonderful tips and stickers and chats. Thank you so much. He says, you need a headshot tools, my friend. You need headshot tools. Yes. Hey, give me, Omar, I'm always up for your suggestion. You're my mentor. Remember, you are my mentor. Hello. Oh, Lisa went bigger. She said $9.99 super sticker. What?
Oh my God. my God.
I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, I'm going to be using these for the StreamYard for real. That's one less bill. That'll be one less bill from being a what they call it, a content creator.
Content creator.
Lisa, look at y'all. Thank you guys. Okay, we're out of here. Bye. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.